Hello, my name is Aisa bin Izzuddin. Today I'm going to do a presentation about the movie review in subject methodology in ELT. So the first, so I will be presenting about the introduction for the movie. The movie title is The Freedom Writer. The synopsis of the movie is a dedicated teacher, uh, the actor played by Hilary Swank, in a racially divided Los Angeles school has a class of at-risk teenagers demand incapable of learning. Instead of giving up, she inspired her students to take an interest in their education and planning their future. She assigned a reading materials that relates to their lives and encourage them all to keep journals. So this is for the introduction for the movie Freedom Writer. So we are going to move on the characteristic of the teacher. So as we can know, main ca- the main character, which is the teacher. There's a five uh five characteristic of the teacher, which for once is committed, which is dedicated to helping their student to change to be a better person in the future, and also transforming the group of students who were deemed unteachable. Secondly is creative, for helping her student learn by using games, etc., to encourage their students attention to change to be more interested in learning. And secondly and secondly employ creative techniques to instruct her student, like songwriting and journaling. Thirdly is positive, using a particular strategy such as trying to understand their personal histories and using that knowledge to assess the students. Realize that many people have faced more difficult circumstance than they have. Moreover, patient, which is devise a plan to maintain harmony and peace in the class. And also, many have called Miss Erenguel the patient queen for her passion on handling the class that has many difficulties, such as rebellious students, the student that doesn't want to commit to their studies, and so on. Lastly, we have flexible, which is devising her own solution to those problems in an effort to resolve them. And also, as we know in the movie, the school doesn't even want to fund for the teachers' material studies. So Miss Erin Goel began working two part-time jobs to pay for the books for the entire class. So for the next slide, I give to my group mates to present. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, I'm Nur Farhana, and I'm going to present my part on the students' problems and opinions on methods to discipline. So there are three of it. The first one is the pupils are enormous hassle. The students, the pupils, the students do not believe in the school system. This is because they came from the very different background, and some of them are have been in the prison, and um, they are from different races and gang culture, so they don't relate it too much to the school system. And this part of the case, Miss Erin Gruwell noticed and aware about it. So she decided to invest her very own time and money in looking for a book that would enable them to relate to the difficulties they encounter in their students' life. So with the book, Ms. Gruel employed innovative expressions to assist the students in communicating their ideas, because the books are very informative and very expressionable book ones, so that the students can relate and adapt it to their own life. So moving on, the second one is a true college needs to be an area where mastering takes place. So basically, college, they have students. So in this movie, um, there is like once like Margaret Campbell, the branch head at Wilson High School, described herself as an educator with 30 years of journey in the field. so she has viewed it at all. So she is used to be the adamant about no longer providing freshly obtained books to the students in the college. So that's why um, in college, the students and the teachers, even the lecturers, have to be the main focus, the person who can provide the students with informations and books for them. So that is why Miss Erin commenced working part-time jobs to store up to cash to buy the diary of Anne Frank and make investment in it to buy all the books for the students. So she also ordered the every pupil, the every students to enter the core and speak aloud about their thoughts or anything else they wish to share with others, because everyone have their own thoughts, everyone have their own way of expression of a book or like what information they give. So that is why she did like that. So, and moving on to the third one is Miss Cruel's guide machine was once weak. So basically every teacher, the first like she wanted to teach a student have their own negative side, but with that or call that the challenges of Miss Erin Gruel to educate these students of room 203. So Miss Erin Gruel indicates a high commitment to her work as a teacher to those problematic students. So she made a decision to help her students in order to convince the department head that she may want to help the unteachable students. So even though the student is very problematic in discipline or anything else, like bringing the cigarettes in the school and everything else, but she was patient enough and give her own best and effort to teach and volunteer herself to teach those unteachable students. So in that way, with her passion, she can control the students by using her own methods of teachings. That is all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Abdul Hadi bin Muhammad Ali, and I will continue this presentation with my part, which is the teaching methods shown and opinion about the movie called Freedom Writers. So, firstly, the teaching method that has been shown in this movie is community language learning. So, for example, in the scene where Miss Grewell come into the class, she finds out that the students are lacking English foundation. So what did she do? She bought a children's book, a lot of children's book and novels, and she asked the students to read it little by little in their free times, but of course started from the children's book and then the novel. And from that moment, we can see how community language learning is being used by Miss Grewell in teaching the students. So the next teaching method is called direct learning teaching method. So the direct learning teaching method can be seen in the scene where Miss Grewell is trying to educate her students in not being racist. So we all know the students in the classroom was very racist towards each other because there's a lot of nationality, there's a lot of background, and there's a lot of skin colors. So racism is not something that is uncommon in their life. So since racism was taken lightly in the class, Miss Grewell take this opportunity to give them lessons about the Holocaust. So she tell them about what have happened to the Jews back in the days about during the Holocaust and the casualties, how many casualties, and the outcome of what happened that is still remain up until today. So not even that, she also bring the student to a museum to learn more about the Holocaust by their own eyes, and after that she also brought them to have a dinner with the survivors in a hotel. So from that scene and from that methods of her, we can see how Miss Grewell educate her students so that the racial problems will not happen again. So in my opinion, all of this method that was being used by Miss Grewell in teaching a student is something that should be followed by me and also by everyone else, every teachers all around the world. Nowadays, there's a lot of kind of students with different background, stories, and talents. So the movie itself is actually portraying the diversity of the students' attitude. It might not be as bad as shown in the movie, but still, facing numbers of problem is a normal thing for a teacher. So by comprehending the methods that I have learned from the class, it is rational for a teacher to use all of those methods in order to educate their students. So in conclusion, throughout our investigation in the movie called Freedom Writers, we can see a lot of examples that should be followed by the teachers all around the world. So the way Miss Grewell teach her students is something that is so genius, that is so dependable, so kind. She was likable and upbeat. She need to serve as an example for all of the teachers and also for ourselves, because in my opinion, having a teacher like her would be the very best that we can do for the students all around the world. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.